Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Ben's Camera Show. Yes, this is a show all about, well, ostensibly about cameras, though we go down all sorts of rabbit holes, and we don't just do Super 8 and 16mm and Standard 8, but there is a bit of a slant towards that. And we'll be talking about splicers tonight. Yes, I've been threatening, warning, threatening, promising to do a show purely about splicers. And this is it. And I've been putting it off for all this time because I didn't want to have to root around in every corner of my house, finding every single splicer I've ever bought, been given, or had thrust upon me, because they can be a bit of a pain in the bum. And I finally did it. I got them all together in one place. I gave them a pep talk, and I said, "It's your time to shine, guys. We're gonna delve into the intricate mysteries of fixing one piece of film to another." That's why I'm wearing the gloves as well, because there's some pretty nasty crap to handle tonight. Oh, they're in the chat room tonight. Who's here? Who's here? Hey, Filmboy24 is here. Fellow YouTuber and film enthusiast. Old Radio's one of my biggest fans. And a couple of other people in the chat. Well, you're here, but you might not be commenting. But do comment in the chat during the show. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, let me know. It's nice to know I'm not talking to a blank wall. Although I do that as well. Anyway, some of my best conversations. Let's get to the splicers, shall we? Right. Gonna talk about, well, let's just talk about the theory of sticking film onto other film first, because it's going to help to have a little bit of background knowledge first. Right? Now, what I've got here, I've activated the top camera. Oh, gosh, it's right in front of me. Where am I? Let's go into my little box here. Here I am. Right, and the background's off. Now this green screen, I'm not going to, what's it called? I'm not going to chroma key it because it just puts too much tax on my processor of my computer. We're just using it as a nice green background today. Very good. So you got two pieces of film, either 16mm, Super 8, whatever, and you want to stick them together. You want to stick one end. Whoops. Here we go. You want to stick one to the other. I don't have to show it to you. I can just tell you. But it's very important to know how film works if you're going to do this. Firstly, let's do a little diagram here. Right. Imagine this past due bill, which I haven't opened yet, is well, it's my drawing board, really. Okay, so here's a piece of film. Right? And here's another piece of film, right? Now the black signifies the base of the film, which is the plastic acetate or sometimes polyester base that the film is made from. No, the emulsion sits on. And this pink line here is the emulsion of the film. Okay, you want to stick those two together. Well, there's a couple of ways of doing it. And the first way we're going to talk about is by cement splicing. Now, obviously, well, not obviously, but this is not cement, the kind of cement that you, pave roads with and stuff. It's called film cement. It's this very useful stuff, and it sticks film to film. But before you stick these two together, you've got to get rid of the emulsion on it first. So what you got to do is somehow scrape off a bit of the end, just the emulsion, leaving the film base clean. And the other side, well, what you want to do is kind of rough up the bottom of the film base so it sticks nicely to the emulsion. Got me so far. So what you want to do here is, let's see, after you've removed the emulsion on one piece of film, say it's like this, and then you take the other piece and it lays on top, it sticks right there very nicely with its own emulsion still on it, And there you have your splice. Okay, you're with me now, with me so far. Good. We'll get on to tape splicing in a minute, a bit later on. Right. So, some comments already. I wish Dad would stop. I got the Victrola, says Old Radios. I use my Kodak splicer and press tapes. Well, that's you're perfectly welcome to do that. Anyway, so let's have a look. I want to actually, yes, say in the comment if you've got a splicer. If you've got a splicer, I want to hear in the comments. I don't know why, but there's not much I can do about it now if you've got a splicer that I don't have. So I want to credit some of the information that I'm using today, that I've got hold of. Amateur Cineworld. I have a bunch of these old from the 60s. This is from 1966. And in Amateur Cineworld, there's a wonderful article called How to Choose a Splicer. And it tells you everything, basically everything I'm about to tell you now, and is probably set out a bit more clearly in this article. And it includes some lovely reviews and diagrams of different types of splicers. And you can download this. If you look below the the window that I'm talking to you on now in the YouTube description, there is a link to a zip file of scans of this entire article and some other pictures of splicers. So you can do that's for you. That's free. You can read that to your heart's content. And if I miss anything, well, it'll be in that article. I'll be reading from that later. So let's have a look at a Commodore Garden splicer. We're going to go back to, well, I would say the early 60s here, because this one only does 16mm and standard 8. And it's the LPL splicer, 8mm, 16mm. You often find that the 16mm and 8mm ones are combined in one because they have the same kind of sprocket holes. And here it is, the LPL splicer. And this is, I'm choosing this one first because this is a very cleanly designed and very basic version of what most of these splicers, how most of these cement splicers work. There's kind of like two stages, the lower stages, left and right, and the upper stages. And the upper stages exist purely to clamp the film in place. Most of these splicers have got little knobs here that will hold the film in place. And most of them will cut the film, and most of them will roughen the edges. We'll take what this bit of I was talking about. It'll take the emulsion off the top of the film without destroying the film in the process. Now, because it's a fiddly job, and because I've got lots and lots of splicers to show you today, what I've done is I prepared edited films of every single one of these splicers. Well, not every single one, a couple of them I missed out. But most of these splicers now, I've prepared a little film, an edited film, which will show you how they work. So let's have a look at the LPL splicer in action. And for this, we are going to go into the screening room. We're going to be going back and forth in the screening room a lot. I might stay in the screening room most of the time. And here's the LPL. Where am I, though? Here I am. There we go. So, open up. I'm using standard 8 here, though you could use 16mm. Fix it down there on one side. Now that other side cuts it. Bam! It cut it very nicely and cleanly right through the sprocket hole. And there's the little thing to roughen up the edge and to take the emulsion off. And it creates this powder and stuff. And then it comes with a little brush, this thing, to brush away the excess powder. And here's the other side of the film, emulsion up, I believe. And what I've done here, I don't know if this is essential to do, is that while the other side of the film is being held there, I roughen that up as well. That's on the base side, because rough surfaces stick together a lot better. There we go. So I'm just roughing up the base side. All right, I could have edited this a bit. It's the Splicer 1 of many we're going to go through. All right. I think you've roughed it up now. Right, and now here's the cement. That goes onto the exposed part of the base that I got revealed through taking off the emulsion. And then, boom, I just put
10 seconds later.
10. Yeah, it takes about 10 seconds at least for the cement to stick. You open it up, and your overlapping pieces of film that are now stuck together. Hooray! And there is the join. You can see there it is. That's when they're overlapped in the middle there. And not a bad job it does. And look at this. It's strong. You can pull. You can actually pull it like that. Not too hard, but you can pull it enough to to get the to make sure it's a good join. Oh no. Oh, I'm always doing this. I realized that when I watched last week's show, I keep forgetting to switch off the video from the previous video. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. We got some to get to. Old Radio says, I also got the cement type splicers, but I think my Kodak one is easier. Yes, well, we'll be talking about tape versus cement soon. This one is nice. This is what I've taken the the visual for above there. It's a lovely little sort of 60s picture of a guy happily splicing film together. It's the Icing Kleberpresse. That's my German pronunciation. And this one's in very good condition. It's got the instructions. It's got its original Sackel comes in. And it is pretty much similar to the last one. Only the rubbing thing that takes the emulsion off is on top this one. There we go. Should we see how the Icing Kleberpresse works? Let's. Okay, here we go. So you open the top like that. I'm using 16mm on this one because why not? Emulsion side up. I clamp it in place there, and then get the bottom one. Hold that, and the actual flap cuts the film as well. See, cut it off there, and now take the rubber. Oh lordy! Oh, I thought my phone had gone off. It was on the soundtrack of the film here. And I apply the cement. Hey, Manny's here. Hi, Manny.
10 seconds later.
Yeah, get used to that. That's in every film. I didn't want to just sit there waiting for it to dry again for 10 seconds. And here we go. 16mm, nicely stuck together. Or is it? Now, look, I offset it slightly. I got it like 1/10 of a millimeter off. Oh, that might give the projector a problem, that one. Remember, not all of these splicings goes to plan. No. Oh, there's some 1 or 2 disasters here. Let's see what's next. What have we got next? Oh, an interesting brown box. Very old and tatty. It must be an old one. What have we got? Ooh, it is old. By the rust, I can tell it's old, and the mold inside the box. Right, this is a Premiere, a precision Premiere. Let's zoom in a bit there. Let's get the close-up on the nice precision Premiere, made in England by. It's called a film joiner. It's not called a splicer. This one's a film joiner. It's even got a serial number. It's got its own serial number. 16 dash millimeter. What's the serial number on this? 24570. Well, I guess they made a few of them, right? Or is it like, they started counting at 2000 to make it look more impressive? Now, this is interesting, this one. Because, okay, it's got the usual flaps. It's a heavy bastard, this one. All right. Open it up. Yeah, brass and steel. And this thing here comes off. What is this? What have we got here? It's a little... It's where the rough edges are to roughen up your film and remove the emulsion, and it's in a separate little block like this. It's quite nice because it sits on this. Although I've got another one of these, and the block is held on by a little piece of chain, which is also good because I bet these things get lost. The Precision Premiere. Let's see how that behaves. Precision Premiere. It sounds good. So. Manny says that's a beauty splicer. Well, we've got a tape and we've got a tape faction and a cement faction going on in the comments here. This is great. This is what I wanted. So yeah, cut it. Take that little block thing. It's got the rough thing on the side. Give it a bit of a rub. Nice. See, all that emulsion just came right off. And now a brush. I'm using the brush from the other one. It's a handy little brush. Why not? And then get the other side. Oh, it's stiff, that one. Okay. Get the other side. Emulsion side up again. I'm going to clip it with the boom, guillotined off. Something very satisfying about doing that. Now, again, what I'm doing here is I'm also scratching some lines in the other side underneath, which is going to stick on top of that emulsion. I don't think that's strictly necessary. A lot of these 60mm splicers, they don't actually ask you to roughen up.
10 seconds later.
They don't ask you to roughen up both sides of the film. And here it comes. Out it comes. Yay! Nice. And it's a very almost invisible join. Very nice. And there it is. Your 16mm is all. Yeah, very good. It's strong stuff, that glue. Ah, right. That was the premiere. There's another premiere coming. Before that, we've got this, the Universal Film Splicer. This belonged to my grandpa. He's the one whose films I showed you a while ago. All these amazing films in America in the 60s and stuff, and in the UK. So, Universal Film Splicer. Why is it universal? Does it do Super 8? Not quite. No, it's not. It's not quite that universal because it came before Super 8. But never mind. It's very heavy. Now, what does it do? Look at this, Ensign Universal Splicer. Let's zoom up on that label there. Oh, that's lovely. From Barnett Ensign Limited, London. Why is it universal? Now, let's see. What does it do? Oh my God, it does 9.5mm. This is the only splicer I have that does bloody 9.5. What else? 16mm and 8mm. 16mm and 8mm and 9.5 up there. Amazing. Now, I had problems with this one. Not least because these knobs that are holding in the sprockets of the film, it's a weird system. They barely rise above the level of the plate. So they don't hold the film in very well. Also, they're not in a straight line, see? Some of them are higher than others. Now, that's supposed to hold the film in place. But, you know, in practice, it drives you up the bloody wall. Here, look, I'll show you. Look, oh, yeah, no, yes, no. There they are. Right. Great. They're all in place. And, oops, film popped out because there's about a 0.5 millimeter of clearance there. So yeah, here's the scraper. Whoops, let's get the full screen back on. So here's the scraper. Here's the scraper, and well, I'll show you my attempt to splice some 16mm film with the Ensign. What's it called? The Ensign, not this one. The Ensign Universal. Manny says he switched to cement splicing a while ago because the tape splicers caused too much movement in the transfers. But I love the ease and quickness of tape. And then Old Radio says the Kodak splicer does them all except 9.5. Yeah, well that's, you know, who does 9.5 anymore? I'm going to do a show about 9.5. It's for real perverts, that one. So, getting shirty about the format. So yeah, you put them both together. And then I roughened it up on both sides. Let's get some cement on that. Nice. Put it all together.
Ten seconds later.
Oh, fuck's sake. Here we go. Take it and poof, gone. Well, that's 10 seconds of my life I'll never get back. And you won't get that time back either, watching that disaster. Yeah, I mean the only reason I keep this this Ensign Universal is, you know, I guess sentimental value, but who gets sentimental over a bloody splicer? No, I might. Who knows? I might need to cut some splice together some 9.5 millimeter. Who knows? Who knows? So let's put the Ensign to bed and get out the get out the next one. They are heavy. Some of these are really heavy. It's because they move around. Right. Oh, I like this one. Next one. This is a really nice one. Even if you don't hold with cement splicing, just the design of this one, you know, is incredible. It's the Splicer. Splicer. It's got a very nice design. It's got 3 kind of handles. This one is up there. This big one is up all the way up here. And this tiny one here goes here. So what do you do with these 3? And how do you use it? And why does the strip that you put the film in, why are these all wiggly like this? Why would you need to do that? All will be revealed in this film of how to use the Cinear. Also, this is lightweight. I think it's made of aluminium or something. It's very nice. Let's see how the Cinear works. I have to remember to stop the previous film before anyway. Here's the Cinear. Now, here's what you do. You open those 2. You put them up into the upper position. You put your film on it, and notice that the film can spill over the end like that. Clamp it in place, and this one, this really does hold the film properly. It's got some decent size knobs in it to hold the sprockets properly. And then when you put that middle bit down, such a great noise. It cuts them both at the same time. Boom, it cuts them exactly to where they should be. Then you swivel them down one at a time, and you bring that one down, and that does the emulsion removal. Nice. It's all in place. It's all on a rail. It does a decent job of it. There's the emulsion come off. Let's get some cement on that. And now we move around. There we go. And then that little thing, that holds it all together.
10 seconds later.
That little thing holds together the splice while it's splicing. And here is the splice. And it's a good one. It's not offset. It's not mixed. It's not mucky. It's a nice splice. That was the Cinear. Yes, the Cinear. I'm gonna keep that one. If I have to stick 16mm together, which I might do sometime soon, I'm going to do it with that one. I think the Cinear is one gets the thumbs up. Next is another Premiere. Manny says the UMIG Chemo Splicer has the same design. So cool. I think that's I think what he's talking about that. Anyway, this is the Precision Premiere, which is a bit quite a lot like the other one. This is also, there we go. So these are both made by Premiere or Premiere, who knows? But this one's got this big ass handle here. You think, why is that? Does it lift up? Does it go down? It's got the usual 2 flaps here and 2 flaps here, but then it's got this giant thing here. And I think, is that the scraper? All that, this is so over-engineered. It's insane. This thing is really heavy. It's made of brass. In fact, it's mentioned on in the article on that magazine I showed you before. Let me before I show you it in action, I'll just read this to you about the Premiere joiner. Here it is. Another splicer in the Rolls-Royce class. This is the Rolls-Royce class. I'm reading off this thing. And the Rolls-Royce price bracket as well is the Premiere Film Joiner, a British-made frame-line splicer. This is an example of a true professional job. Big, solid, and designed to stand up to a lot of hard work. It has a separate scraper file, but an automatic scraper available as an optional extra is very nearly essential. The automatic scraper is quite the best of all scrapers tested. It's a good scraper, I think. Another extra is a special heater, which fits in the underneath of the splicer and warms the area of the join. That's what this hole is for. This promotes faster drying of the cement and also helps to avoid the formation of bubbles in the adhesive. The amount of film overlapped is unusually small, giving a true frame-line splice. The average time taken for splicing with a Premiere was 25 seconds, only 1.5 seconds of this being for scraping. They really got to be in their bonnet about the scraping action. Let's see the Premiere. The Premiere. Well, unfortunately, I don't have the heater or the electric splicer, whatever the hell it is. But here's how I may do without all that stuff. And I've got a close-up. This was a real pain in the bum to do, but I've got a close-up of the actual scraper blade in action. So that's the scraping going on back and forth with this ridiculous. And here we go. See, it's a blade rather than a file. Getting that emulsion off. I found quite often that blade actually just ripped the film up. So there's a few teething problems with this one.
10 seconds later.
And here we go. And the splice has been made. The film is now stuck together. So yeah, that's the Premiere joiner, the Premiere with the long handle. And before we move on to other types of splicers, I just want to show you the one I've been using up to now, because I've shown it before, but it is really the one for me. I've been using it for ages and it's been great, and that is of course the Bolex. The Bolex 8mm film splicer. Excellent piece of kit. The best thing about it is that, there we go, is that it scrapes both ends on the same side, and then it, instead of twisting them round or getting one onto the other, it flips the whole thing right over like this. In fact, I'm so used to doing splicers with this one, I'm going to do one live now for you. We'll do it live! Okay, so here we go. So here's some film here. Oh yes, the base side and the emulsion side. How can you tell? How can you tell the base and the emulsion? The emulsion is slightly less shiny than the base. Let's see if we can get some shininess on this and tell. So let's see. Well, let's get the damn thing in focus to start with. Okay, so this is the base side. It is very shiny. I'm trying to get it reflected on some actual light here. There we go. Well, you can't really see. Yeah, there we go. You can see it's shiny. And this side, the emulsion side, that's more matte. It's not in focus. There we go. You can actually see the emulsion. See the pictures in the emulsion there. That's a good shot of emulsion. It's more matte. And this, let's look at the other side. There, so shiny. See? So that's the base side up. Very important to be able to tell the difference between those. Let's see the Bolex in action. Focus. Right. See, on one side it says base up here. On the other side it says emulsion up. So let's do that. Let's just tear that in half. Base up, yep, and holes down. So that goes into, see these two sets of holes, the top one is Super 8 and the bottom one is Standard 8. Very easy. So let's see, the Super 8, get it in there. There we go. Oh, actually, I don't want to lose my footage there. Okay, here we go. So that's in there, and I put the thing down, and it goes. Oh, let's get some extra sound on this. Why not? Okay, here we go. So I've put the emulsion side, shiny side up on this side, holes down. Nice. And I'll tuck that underneath. And on the other side, it's emulsion side up. There we go. Emulsion side up, and we'll lock that down. Nice. And at this point, it's a simple process because it's got two scrapers, one for each. One's here and one's here. Gonna move that down, move it up and down a bit. And it's got, as well as the scraper, it's got a little guillotine there as well. So I can, there we go. So I can, there we go, see? So I can cut the film. So we go Scrape, 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 and cut. There we go. And on this side, the same. Scrape, 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 and cut. All right. And now it even comes with a little brush. There we go. Little brush, brush away all those bits of emulsion. Got scraped off. Let's cement it up. Only a little bit on this side. Here it goes. Over there. And then all you do is you just put this thing right over. Boom. And it stuck the two bits together. And 10 seconds later. Usually I spend that time putting away the cement, you know, thinking about my life, stuff like that. So in 10 seconds later, and that's great. There's one handle up here, and the whole thing just pops open. And watch this. Boom. There's our splice. There's our splice right there in the clear bit. So that's the Bolex, and I gotta say, switch that off. If you're gonna go, ooh, what happened? If you're gonna go with a cement splicer, and you don't need 16mm, you could do a lot worse than the Bolex. Go find one on the internet. In fact, we'll after this we'll go. Oops, later on we'll have a look, and we'll see how much some of these things costs. Not as much as you might think. Now a lot of these splicers I got hold of in auctions, because you know when you buy, sometimes you buy a box of cameras and it's just got in someone's entire collection, and they're old Splicer as well. So often I just get splicers that way. I've not really. I think I've only gone out of my way to buy a splicer once. Right, let's get on to. Okay, we've got something fun now. This is fun. Okay, we're going to go forward a couple of years to the Hanel Kolmatic S1000 motor film Klebepresse. The Germans went and motorized the scraping of the film. How did they do that? We're going to see. The Hanel is a lovely piece of equipment. Look at this. I mean, you can tell we've gone forward a decade or two. Manny says they're great splicers, super clean edits from them. Yes. Oh, Canon fanboy. I didn't know that. No, did Canon make splicers? I don't know. Maybe he's talking about the cameras. Anyway, the Hanel S1000. That pops up. If I press this button here, it pops up. And what's the deal? What's the deal with this? On one side, it's got one film, and the other side, it's got space for two. So you can't stick a 16mm to an 8mm. What's going on? How does this design even work? And what's this weird knob in the middle? All will be revealed in the piece of film that I made. Let's have a look. The Hanel. So you open it up. What the hell was that?
This one, you put the emulsion up.
Do you?
And this emulsion down.
So you put your two sides.
Emulsion up, emulsion down.
Your two sides are going to stick next to each other. How does this
Then they
work?
get cut across there.
Cuts it. Now watch this. That is freaking awesome. It probably didn't sound like it when it was new. I have cameras that sound like that as well. So I take one up there, I put it on the other side, turn it around, overlap them, like so. And now cement it up. And all you do is just you pop the other side on top and push it down, push that thing down.
10 seconds later.
Old radio says, I so want that. Yeah, I need to. I was gonna lube it up. There's a nice splice right there. I was gonna lube it up before the show, but I thought no. I Oh, I was going to lube it up before I even made that film, but I thought, no, I want you all to hear that. I want you all to hear. This is what happens when things get put in a cupboard for 30 years. Let's have another look at it here with the. Okay, so basically, this thing is a spinning scraper, and it's got like a scraper wheel inside it, and it's triggered by pushing it like this. Like that. See? And it stops when it's going. So it only goes around when the film is actually. Wow. That's yeah. Manny says the motor on his has stopped working. I have another of these, and the batteries leaked. In fact, the batteries leaked in 2 of them. This one I was able to clean up, luckily. In fact, let's have a look. Let's have a look at another electric one. That was the Hanel. What have we got here? Another Hanel. Motor Film Klebepresse for normal und Super 8. Can't see anything, because I'm not. There we go. So yes, the Hanel Motor Film Klebepresse. Oh, I'm exercising my Deutsch tonight. Look at this. Here we go. Ah, yeah. I forget the number on it. I was just cataloging them. So you think, it looks the same. Not quite. Not quite. This one. There we go. The Colmatic. It doesn't do that over-under thing. Let's open it up. It's actually got a motor, a disc with what is it called? A roughening disc inside there on both sides, and it's not triggered by the movement of the things. So how do you trigger it, I wonder? Let's have a look. For the Hanel S1, the Colmatic. Here we go. Here's the Colmatic. So like some of the other ones, you put the film in at the angle like this, and there we go. That's the chopping block just above it there. Got a nice close up there. By the way, that's green leader. I'll show you where I got that in a minute. So yeah, that thing cuts the bits off, and then it's got a button. You do them one at a time, and it's very clever because it roughs up that one on the bottom, and on the other one it goes into the wheel in a slightly different place. See, it goes between them like that, because you want. And then just a little bit of the cement. And as usual, you just slide the other one down and clip it from the top.
10 seconds later.
And open it up. And the splice is done, and it's good. There we go. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with just going, oh dear, that's not such a good splice. But I mean, why did that need to be an electric? I don't know. Maybe they just figured on people just couldn't get the hang of that, so they thought let's make an electric instead. In fact, inside the box is quite interesting thing. There's a note here. Achtung! Colmatic bitte nicht mit eingelegter Batterie versenden. I think it means don't store it with the batteries in. It's even got, it takes 2 of those big D-cell batteries. It's even got these little things where you can put the batteries into standing upright to encourage you to not leave it stored with the batteries in. Unfortunately, the previous owner of this ignored those warnings, and the thing had a bit of mold in it, but I cleaned it out, and luckily it works. That's the Hanel Colmatic. Very nice. Now there was something. Oh yeah, this is hilarious. The instructions. Oh my god, this is how much faith they had in people's technical abilities back in the day. Okay, the instructions are in like several different languages. It's got pictures and everything, very nice. And on the back is this, I can only describe it as some kind of like engineering drawing of how that rotor, that wheel works. Because it's got something called a sapphire Schleifscheiben, which must be a grinding disc or something similar. And sapphire, obviously, it's got sapphires in it to make a nice rough surface. And it tells you all about changing the bloody grinding disc on that thing. On that, how? I mean, in here, it's smaller than the size of a penny, and you're expected to follow these instructions on how to change the Saphir Schleifschreiben. I mean, you've got to hand it to the Germans. They must have just technology built into them. Anyway, so that's the Hanel Motorfilm Kleiber press. Unfortunately, I've got one here that doesn't work. There were bits coming out of it, and it had a horrible case of battery degradation. But here's another one, just so for completeness sake. Here's the Carmel Colmatic SD8, and it's pretty much the same as the other ones. There is a thing saying don't try and put up both of these at the same time, because then they get stuck in the wheel there. Tinny said, Tio Manny says mine is the Colmatic. Oh, good for you. You got one of them. Yeah, it's a fun little unit. Right, let's get on to the world of tape splicing. Now, of course, people got a bit sick of this stuff. I mean, maybe even literally. I mean, this stuff's probably toxic. You can get this film cement. You can still buy it from, I think, Van Eck do it. But you can get the film cement still. This is probably about 50 years old. Still works. I think someone said in the comments earlier that they have a bottle of cement that has no signs of degrading. Anyway, here's what I had. I've had this since I was about 14 years old. Quick splice. Sound, silent, Super 8 moving it. Very simple. This is like the kind of stuff they sold in the 80s. Very simple, and it uses these tabs. I've got some more. The box is somewhere else. You can still buy these tabs, in fact. I think Van Eck do them as well. Van Eck Film Services in the Netherlands. But you get these tabs, and what it is, it's basically a piece of splicing tape, which is like clear sellotape, which lasts for a long time, doesn't stop sticking, and it doesn't get yellow. It's good stuff. So it has to be special. You can't just use sellotape, unless you're in utter disaster region. Okay, so here's the so it's got these. It's basically a square of tape with these little holes in it, and the idea is that tape goes. Well, let's do it on a picture here. So here's our piece of film, and here's another piece of film, and the tape goes around it. Like, oh, that's not very good. I've done it at the wrong angle. Let's just do it for real. Then you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Right. Well, here's a bit of Super 8. We can just tear apart and reattach. Right. So here's some Super 8. Let's take it apart where that splice, where that cement splice was. So you put your film. You put it into the sprocket hole holders here. If I can find them. It's easier to do this when you don't have to worry about camera angles. Why won't it go in? Oh, I've lost my knack with this stuff. There it goes. There it goes. Jesus. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah, so it's got a little pocket here which you put the film into. And it goes there. And the other side goes here. I was trying to get it on these holes. They're actually for the splicer, for the splicing tape. Let's get a better shot here. Okay. Some more light. Yeah, you can see what's going on there. So I tuck the film into here. The knobs that hold it in are here and here and here and here. Okay. There's a knife built into the lid here, so that when I shut the thing, let's hear the noise of it. There we go. And that just cut the film at a slight wiggly line here. That's important. That's to give the film a bit of bending power, so it doesn't come apart easily in the projector. And now, hey, Justin's in the house. Hello, Justin. Oh, you've missed all the cement, but we're on to the tapes now. So that hooks over the top of this, goes down onto there, and then you pull the bottom bit out, like so, and that reveals the tape. It's all in position. It goes straight onto the film like that. And then, and this is very clever, you turn this flap over the other side, and when you do it, it peels the rest of the film off the backing of the tab there. So here it comes. See, look, there it goes. And you put it down on this side and use this thing. You push that forwards, and that sticks the tape on the other side of the film. Very simple system and a very reliable Okay, I've taped down a piece of random film that was just lying in there. Okay, so here it is. So here's the splice. Here's the cut. There we go. And there is the splice right there. You can just about see that. And those tape splices, I mean, it's easy. The only problem is that you run out of tape, splicing tape eventually, whereas splicing cement just lasts forever and ever. But if you've got a source of these tapes and you want quick splices, well, this is the quick splice. This is what this one's even called, the quick splice. There we go. Yes, it says use with quick splice type TB-T8X tape. Okay, good luck getting hold of that, but I think Van Eck have it. While we're at it, here's another one. It's a tiny one. It's the smallest splicer. It's tiny and it's plasticky, and it does pretty much the same job. You put the tape in there. I think, does it do 16 millimeter as well? Maybe. It has basically no moving parts except for this lid. I'm not even sure if there might not be a piece missing of this because it's so simple. I mean, just lay the tape on there, lay the film on there, put the tape on top of it. Now, while we're on the subject of tape, we might as well talk about actual proper professional splicing. Yes, not with these little tab things here, but with actual just tape like on a roll. And how does it do that? Excuse me. Sorry about that. I had some sort of allergic reaction, probably to the splicing cement. Now, I don't have one of the really, really proper professional ones, but my friend Justin, who is in the chat right now, hooray, is he let me, oops, not this one. He let me use his proper 16mm splicer. Here's what it is. So it's got, as you can see, it's got a handle that cuts the film. No, the film is cut by this guillotine on the right-hand side. Now, here, unfortunately, the only film I could use at the time was this transparent film, so it wasn't very good at demonstrating, but you can just see pretty much. So you cut it where you want, you put the two sides on there, the pins hold it very nicely, then you just pull some tape from the dispenser below. You just need a centimeter or two, goes over the top, stick it down, and then you put that thing down, push the handle, and boom, it cuts the sides, it cuts the sprocket holes, it does the whole thing, and you're ready to go. It is the quickest and easiest way of quickly splicing 16mm film. I've used it when I edited 16mm film. I can swear by them, they're really good. The only problem is, of course, you've got to find splicing tape. And you can still get it. You can still get it. Right, we're getting on to some interesting ones now. You've seen tape. You've seen cement. Well, sorry about that. I'll put the volume down next time I do that. Oh, God. I woke up this morning, I just know my nose is running like a tap. It's not hay fever season anymore. There's tape and there's tape and there's splicing tape, and there is Fujica single 8. Now, single 8, as we know, looks, when it's not being filmed and it's not in its special single 8 cartridge, it looks just like regular Super 8. However, some single 8 film is on a polyester base, not an acetate base. So that makes it difficult to cut and also very difficult to scrape off the emulsion without just ruining the entire film. So single 8, I think, more traditionally uses the tape splicer, but I think you have to have a special tape as well for this stuff, for this, in order to use this machine. This is a lovely machine. It's called the Fujica Single 8 Splicer Deluxe, and it's got a couple of features on it which no other splicer I have has, and unbelievable how cool this feature is. So I'll show you in a sec. So if I lift this thing up, you can see underneath there is a roll of special tape there. It's not like regular tape like the last one we saw, the 16mm. It's got little sprocket holes kind of built into it. And the idea is that, see, it's got these two buttons here, film and tape. One of them is for cutting the film, and then the other, after you've put the tape on it, you put it over to tape and you put it down, and it cuts the sprocket holes in the tape, in the film, in the tape over the film. I'm just going to show you a video of it, and then you'll see what the deal is with the Fujica. So let's have a look. Here we go. Right. So first cut. That just cuts the film. Justin says, "Do you happen to know what width tape I need for CIR 8mm splicer?" God no. I'll give that some thought, Justin. And then you put the tape on. Now notice the tape has got the sprocket holes in there. It's very hard to get that on film, on video, but you put the sprocket holes through those little pins there, and stick the tape down. Then you push tape. And that means when you bring the handle down, it cuts the sides of the film like parallel rather than across the film. And then, there we go. And then you just fold that tape around the other side. And Bob's your auntie's living lover. Hey, Justin? Yeah, unfortunately I did this a bit candidly. It's a bit skewed. So yeah, but that's the idea, the Fujica. But we're not done with it yet. The Fujica, because it's got this one feature I was talking about, which is like better than the most amazing feature I've seen on any splicer whatsoever. And I need to get some proper film to demonstrate this. I noticed underneath there was a battery compartment for 2 AA batteries. I thought, hello, Fanny, you know, this is not an electric splicer. Why does it need batteries? Fanny, you know, weird. It's got right here. If I switch this on, in fact, I'm going to switch this light off here. Switch this on. Oh, what's that? It's got its own little bloody view screen. Its own. It's like a little tiny light box. It's a tiny light box for looking at the film through, and it can not only that, but that didn't look much. Didn't look like it magnified much. If you undo this screw here, then this thing rises up. Look at this. It rises up on its own little stand. So it's the right distance. Let's tighten up again. And now if I put my film in there, see, I can check intimately. Well, actually, that's too high. Let's get it down a bit. Well, okay. Well, I'll just lift it up and down so we can see. In fact, let's zoom in as well. Let's get a really proper shot here. Nice. Nice. And hey, I can even just put it upright here. So if you're editing and you think, oh, what part is this? You know, everyone who's ever tried to edit Super 8 film natively, there's a lot of holding it up to the window with a magnifying glass, see what's going on. This thing, if I just lift this up, look at that. You could, well, at the right distance there. Look at that. It's got a little light box. It's got I mean, that is brilliant. I mean, that is just unbelievably cool. So once you've, and then you can switch that off. There you go, on, off, and then go ahead and use your do your splicing. That is so cool. Oh, old radio says phone is about to die. Well, I don't know, mate. Get to a laptop next time. Don't worry, show's about to die as well. Right, let's get forward on to... okay, right. Now we've got the special mentions. These are ones that failed in one way or the other. Well, no. Well, there's one that didn't fail, but it's still a bit pants. Firstly, the Kleberpress F8S automatic. Now this is okay. It's a lovely idea, and all power to them. It just doesn't work, not properly. This is made by Agfa, and they make their own special film with it, special tapes with it. And if I run out of these tapes, I'm in real trouble. Luckily, that's not going to happen anytime soon because this thing is not proper. I know it's not properly working, but it's got. A guy did a film on YouTube where if you Google this, you can find the film this guy did. But he's got a working one. I looked it up. These are only about £20, and the point of this is that you put the film in side by side, clamp it down, and then you put one of these special Agfa film tapes. You hook it up here, sort of in the handle like this, like up there, and then somehow that holds there, and you bring the handle down. As you're bringing it down, it cuts the film here. It something, I don't know what the hell happens. The rest, look at this. This whole mechanical thing goes on here. You push it down, and it's already puts the film on. When you lift the handle up, it just pops the film out, opens up the clips. The film's got its tab around it. It's got sellotape around it. It's film, it's splicing tape. Great stuff. Thing doesn't work. This too complicated for its own good. It's like the British Rail APT, the Advanced Passenger Train. And mopping up here, what have we got? We've got the Wirker Film Splicer Super 8, and I get another German. So what the Wirker? This was like I think this is like a late model one, and pretty cheap. It's not very good. It's very plasticky. It's very difficult to get the film inside the sprocket holders there, while you hold open these kind of clips that hold it in place. It's got a blade here. It'll cut it, and then basically you just got to use the old splicing tape on that. I got to say the quick splice is much more efficient and much better if you get one of those. Let's just see the Wirker in process. Yeah, it took quite a few goes to get that in place. Nice action. Man, he said that's awesome. I think you're referring to that light box. Yeah. So the Wirker, it's just fiddly, cheap. This smacks of like the end of Super 8, like the end days. They're not really trying much anymore, I don't think. Maybe I put the tab on wrong. Maybe it's supposed to hang on that thing up behind. Anyway, it's very hard to fold it around the film on that one. Didn't quite. Anyway, so there it is, and it comes out there, and yeah, not a bad splice that, considering that'll go through a projector probably, but well, the Wirker was not. Actually, it's not a very good one. I didn't fold it around properly. Yeah, no, that was not a very good experience doing that one. Again, here's another one that well, I didn't do a film for because I couldn't get it to work. This, oops, no, wait a minute, I've got to switch the Wirker off now. W-U-R-K-E-R, Wirker. Fiddly, yeah. Now, this is, okay, this is annoying, this one. I don't know, it was the usual, 2 flaps up and 2 flaps down. Oh, no, that one, oh yeah, you got to unclip that with this. Except the scraper, it's the longest scraper I've ever seen. It's an entire file. You could scrape your way out of prison with that thing. And it's got this long kind of rail that it goes in. So it's huge. It's another very over-engineered. I mean, you're only scraping some emulsion off a little bit of film. You don't need this. You could burrow right through the splicer and the table underneath it. Not annoying to use. That was the Arguet, the Arguet Couleurs Marguet for Trifilm Automatique. Oh, they do 9.5 as well. Why do the ones that do 9.5 never work properly? Contributed to the... Or maybe it does super, standard, and 16. I don't know. Je suis désolé, les Français. Votre Arguet Couleurs Marguet, ce n'est pas bien. Right, and finally, the Hanimex Universe. Oh, we're back in Germany. There we go. Again, I didn't make a special film about it because it's pretty much there's nothing much to tell about it. It's nice and clean. It's been barely used, and it's just got the old scraper here. I'll stick to my Bolex. Thank you very much, Hanimex. Are we done? Are we done? We're almost done. I'm going to show you some accessories now. Firstly, Minette. Minette made amazing viewers, like Super 8 viewers. And I don't have the splicer, but I've got these patch tapes for Minette Tape Splicer. 20 bags of these, and there's 40 in each. So it says silent one-track sound. I think the deal with these is that they go around the film, but they stop short of the soundtrack. Look at this, weird. I can only imagine we have to back engineer what kind of a film, what kind of a splicer took this kind of thing. I mean, obviously here's the bit that wraps around the film here, but yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe I'll sell them on eBay. I don't know. Anyone got a Minette splicer? Let me know. You know, just give me the postage and I'll send them to you. I don't care. I need to reduce the amount of shite. How to set the splicing time. Oh, it tells you how. Oh, and there's a picture of the thing. Okay, so that's what the Minette... I'm sorry, I'm overexposing here somehow. That's what the... oh. No, this way. That's what the Minette looked like. And we just don't have the splicer. Maybe it goes in this one. Could it be in this one? Nah. Oh well. I can recommend Minette viewers if you were looking for a Super 8 viewer. And finally, the last bit of kit for today before we wind down and put our feet up is this. I saved this to last because it's just magnificent. Look at this. This came with someone's collection. I can't remember. Someone who died. Cine Set. What's Cine Set? It's basically everything you need for splicing, including, well, the where's that Kodak? There it is. So this was in here as well. There we go. That's the full set. Look at this. It's got optic paper, whatever that is, silicon. Pierce, please. I don't know why that says you pierce, but maybe it's some kind of desiccant. Probably it's a desiccant. Some instructions there. It's got a little lens cloth here. It's got a little brush, like for I guess for cleaning out projector gates and stuff like that. Maybe cleaning off the bits of emulsion that you've rubbed off your film. It's got, well, there's the Kodak cleaner, Kodak film cement, and this is film cleaner. I don't have any of that. This is the only film cleaner I have. I'm a dirty bastard. Dirty bastard. So, and on the left here, what's this? It's 2 rolls of red and green leader. Super cool. The green leader is the stuff I was using to demonstrate the splicing earlier. But they have this red leader has not even been opened. So cool. I don't know what I was supposed to do with it. Really? Maybe I'll find something artistic to do with it. I don't know what optic papier is as well. It can't. Maybe it's for lens cleaning. I know it says silicon. I'm not sure you should rub any of that on your lens. Well, we'll see. So that's a Cine Set, and I wish I could tell you who made it, or well, maybe it says here. Color Fresh No, okay, that's just for the film preserver. I don't know who made this, and I don't even want to use it. It's very nice. I feel like Nigel Tufnell. No, you can't touch it. Don't even look at it. No, you've seen enough of that now. It can never be used, and no, that's enough. Right, that's it for Splicers, everyone. Manny says some of these are a little hard to figure out sometimes. You said it, put it mildly, Manny. Oh my God, I spent hours and hours. My mate Bert thinks I've gone up the bloody wall with all this stuff. Now, what's going to be our treat tonight? What's going to be our final screening treat? What we've got is a film that my mate Justin gave me. Who Justin's been dipping in and out of the chat tonight. Hopefully, you're still around, Justin. We're not going to watch a live projection tonight because Justin has the original film and he's building a film scanner, and he's already achieved more than I could ever do in a lifetime. Man is a technical genius, and he's got the film. He's going to make his own scan of it, but I have a Wolverine scan that I made of it before I gave it to him. In fact, he gave it to me to scan on the Wolverine because we're going to compare the two scans. And that's going to be the subject of another show, is scanning part 2 and projections and stuff like that. So anyway, what we've got here is some films that he found, I think, online. He bought them as usual, bought them for the reels. They came with someone's treasured memories on them, someone who's completely untraceable. And we have the footage, and some of it's really good. This was labeled 1963 USA, but not Woods Hole. It seems that Woods Hole is some kind of oceanographic institute where this person might have been connected to, because this is the stuff he shot where he didn't go to the Oceanographic Institute. So let's have a look. Let's see. Well, let's get some music on first. Let's have some nice. How about some light jazz? Let's go with some 1963. Oh, I like that. Now, where are we? This would be Washington, D.C., I reckon. There was a shot earlier. Comfort Station. What the hell's that? There's the Washington Monument. Nice. Very big. Didn't realize. It looks very big bigger in this film than you see in the pictures. I guess that's all built up now. Yeah, there's a bus. I love how they're dressed. Look how fucking smart everyone is. Pardon my language. I mean, back in the day, when you got out of a bus to piss against the side of the road, you wore a damn suit. You looked presentable, and you respected the field of cabbages that are right there. These guys are cool. They're probably oceanographers. What is that? Collard greens, maybe. I don't know. Answers on a postcard, everyone. Oh, I realised I was drowning myself out with the music, which is probably not a bad thing. Nuns! Sorry. Father Jack moment there. They wore their trousers up high back then. Giving a little speech there. What information is this? This thing raises so many questions. That beer looks good. Well, it's like some sort of Fanta. Look at these. They look like they work for NASA, these guys. The old short sleeve shirt. Glasses, a bit like mine. Chesapeake Biological Laboratory. What the hell? Parental advisory, explicit stream. All right, come on. You should hear me. Oh, look at that food. That 1960s food. Wow. I love the packaging. Good enough for Sister Maria Teresa. It's good enough for me. And now they've gone. Obviously, it's a field trip to look at some ocean stuff. Hey, Manny says, great show, Ben. Have a great day, everyone. Good to see you, Mike. Hey, before you go, next show will be next week, and I got the date right this time. The 17th of November. That's in 1 week. Same time, same place. We're going to talk. Finally, I've been doing color reversal. Yes, we're going to talk Ektachrome, the E6 process, and color reversal. I got lots to show you. That's going to be a good one. Oh, New York. I don't want to get the credits over this. This is great. Who doesn't love New York 1963 footage? Look at that. The Empire State Building. It stands alone. Nowadays, it's crowded around with skyscrapers. I'm saying this like it's some amazing revelation that New York is more built up now, with one notable exception, than it was back in 20th century. Now, I guess this is from the top of the Empire State Building, I imagine. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Mike and Manny and Old Radios and Justin and everyone else. Thanks for the people who watched and didn't comment. Good enough for me. Nice. Look at this. New York. No traffic. Yeah, that's definitely the Empire State Building. And that's the view. You should compare that to what it looks like now. The Pan Am Building. Wow. Chock full of nuts. Savo-Rama. Brotherhood. There's a parade coming up. I think this was like the summer before November when Kennedy got shot. So this was like a very kind of, there was all the civil rights stuff. There was like a lot of optimism in the air. These people, look at these people. They're all marching for something rather. And that woman looked like Jackie Kennedy, but it wasn't, obviously. Local 23. It's like, is this Labor Day? Could it be? Is that Labor Day? Is that when unions parade? Americans in the room. Help me out here. Wow. Oh, the music stopped. Let's get some more. Yes, some more. There we go, everyone. So, yeah, end credits again. Hey. Next show. 1 week from today. On my YouTube channel. Or go to zerobudgetfilmschool.com. And we're going to be talking about Ektachrome and E6. And color reversal. Finally. And we're going to definitely have a live projection that time next week. Older said Singer Tower was still around. Yes, okay. Well, yet another shot of the Statue of Liberty, another boat, and I think it winds up about here. Probably ran out of film. Now I seem to remember the Liberty Island ferry being like that. Similar to that. I wonder how long they were in service for. Anyway, lovely footage. Thanks, Justin, for giving me that. And Old Radio says he's cleaned up his Victrola. Good. And on that bombshell. Anyway, thanks everyone. That's it. I hate protracted goodbyes, but I can't seem to stop talking about Splicers. No, I have been talking about Splicers, and it's been a great show. And if you've tuned in not live and found information that's useful to you about your Splicer, then all power to you. And hopefully you'll be happily splicing for years. And I never looked up how much they cost. I remember one was like the really good one was like a equivalent of £150. It was like £8 in 1963. And another one was this was the equivalent of about £30, I think, today. And the other one was like no, that was like 63. Oh god, okay, we'll talk about it next time. Next week. See you all next week, everyone. Bye. Bye.